Hi everybody, thanks again for joining me. This is John, BTV Digger. The next series of videos are from some hunts that took place over the last 10 to 12 days or so. Several short hunts on an order of about 1 to 3 hours each, or 1 hour in a couple of cases. And then one longer hunt over in central Vermont with a buddy of mine that took place about 3 days ago or so. So all in all, probably about 8 hours of hunting. But you got to work hard to get a lot of the stuff in today's world. A lot of stuff's been hunted out. But if you do the right research and spend some time, there's still some stuff waiting in the woods for you. So come along and join me, and we'll show you what I found. Okay, here we are at our next find, right on the side of the hill here. And I looked at it just a minute ago, right here. Common find, but I'll take it. Old brass buckle. Looks like you got some corrosion with the iron tongue there. But that's another keeper. I find tons of these all the time, but you know, you do a little electrolysis or you clean these up, and these are always good keepers. An 1800s relic right there for you guys. See if I can just want to focus on the grass and not the buckle. There you go. Oh well, you get the picture. All right, let's go find something else, guys. On to the next. Okay, here we are again. You guys in southern New England, you guys find the buttons all the time. I've got my share, but I'll tell you what, I get more of these guys than anything else. Another buckle. A little bit of a different style, but 1800s relic once again. That one was down pretty good. It's been raining here recently, so I got that one down about 7 inches or so. I'll take it. Let's go find something other than a buckle, guys. On to the next. Hey, here we are at our next find. I'm at another park in town. I'm going to try this out for a little while. It's just basically like a wooded park right in the middle of my town. It's got some bike trails through it, but the old map showed it's been undeveloped forever. So who knows? People probably walk through here for 150, 200 years, so there could be something good in there. There's a lot of modern trash in here, a lot of bottle caps and stuff, so I've started to focus more on just better, higher tone targets, because yeah, there's probably some Indians in here, but all the mid-tones, for every Indian you're going to find 200 bottle caps. So I'm just focusing on the high tones, and I got something fairly interesting in the hole right here. It's probably pretty modern, but let me show you what I've got. Got a part of an old lock, it looks like, our lock face, and it says Reese on the front of it. Mid 20th century, maybe, that'd be my guess, with a design. Looks like it's, you know, got a little more complexity on the machine design there on the front. But anyway, I'll do a little research on that and see what I can find on it. Okay, let's see if we can find something else, guys. On to the next. All right, guys, here we are in the evening. I think it's July the 7th, Thursday evening. Had a couple hours to get out here after the rain. Same old familiar park that I've shown you many times before, and I've hit a lot of these sites before, and it's still amazing what you can find if you keep coming out and going to the same places. I was actually walking up to the old school where I'm going to use my small coil on my F2 because it's really trashy there. This site is the site of a really old cellar hole that was only back in the 1850s or so. I've really only found a couple flat buttons here. So I'm just walking the old road. I'm walking up this way, let me show you. And the school's up there on the right about maybe another quarter mile, but I always stop at this site. And this is the crazy thing about metal detecting, guys. You can hit this stuff over and over again, and you come back, and I tried my small coil here. Now, being an old site, this site is fairly quiet. There's not a lot of trash. How I missed this with my F2 the first time is beyond me. And let me show you what I just found. Right there. Where is it? Right there. Unbelievable. U.S. large cent. I have to have been over this cellar hole. Well, there's not even a cellar hole here. This just depression 5 or 6 times. It always goes to show you, man, you never can hit every piece of ground. You know, I always like it. I'm a meteorologist by trade, and I always like it to looking at old hurricane tracks from the Atlantic Ocean. I know that sounds weird, but if you go back and look, you can see all the hurricanes from the past 150 years that have tracked across the Atlantic into the lower 48. And you know what? There's some places that have never been hit still. The tracks have not crossed. And that's the same way I look at it with a metal detector. I can't tell exactly what that is. It looks just like probably a coronet or a matron head. I'll have to clean that up and I'll show you after the end of the hunt. It was only about 4 inches deep, so I can't imagine this is going to be in too great a shape, but I can tell it's a large scent. Let's go find a few more things before I get eaten up by the mosquitoes tonight, guys. On to the next hunt. Alrighty, guys, I've kind of hiked my way up to the old school site. After I found that large scent, it was very quiet there, as I had told you earlier, so I kind of moved on. Being so humid, I'm getting eaten alive by bugs and gnats. I'm probably going to be here about another half an hour. I'm going to call it quits. I've poked around here just a little while, just a ton of iron, and there's a lot of like metal tin like flashing from I guess what was the old roof of this place, and so it is just contaminated everywhere. Even with the small 4-inch coil I'm using right here on my F2, very hard. But I got myself a mid-tone here, and I think I've got like a button or something like this in the hole. This school site dates back from the 1850s, so who knows. Looks kind of like a button, but I don't know. I don't think it is. I think it's got some kind of it's got some writing on it though. What does that say? PL8 Success? I don't know. Something company. B and something company on it. I am not sure. Well, we'll have to clean that up. I'll do a little toothbrush on it in a little while, and I'll show you what a shot of it is and see what I can figure out what it is. It's not a button. It looks like it's like a valve stem cover or a little knob off of something. But anyway, PL8BN something company. Anyway, interesting. I'll keep it, certainly. Old. All right, let's find a few more things before I head out of here. Well, here we are again, guys, July the 8th. At a new property here, kind of out in the middle of nowhere. Not in the Champlain Valley, more over into central Vermont. I'm here with my friend David over there, who's digging steadily away. Pretty trashy right around the site with a lot of iron here. We've just gotten here maybe 20 minutes ago. I finally got a somewhat decent target here, right by the lip of the cellar. Let me show you what I got, and I really don't know what it is. But let's come down here and look. Looks like some sort of makeup compact, or maybe a mirror to a makeup compact. I'm not exactly sure. And it looks like that thing opened, so I don't know if that was some other sort of tool. This site was here in the 1870s and was gone by the turn of the century, so I'm not exactly sure, but that's a keeper. I'll try to do a little research, and the back is kind of rusted. Maybe I can do a little electrolysis and see if there's any writing, and then I can figure out what that is. But anyway, a nice little keeper from the turn of the century, a little bit before. All right, let's find something else, guys. On to the next. Okay, here we are, the next find. About 10 minutes later. This isn't a bad find. It's not a coin, but it's an old suspender clip. I found a similar one to this back in my hometown park in Essex. And if I'm not mistaken, this is going to have writing on it right there, and it's going to be a French maker out of Montreal. And I can't for the life of me remember the name on it. I can't make that out. My eyes suck. But I'll get you a date and a manufacturer date. Again, probably late 1800s, and the parts maybe even moved. Nice little suspender buckle or something like that. Excellent. All right, let's go find some more stuff, guys. Okay, here we go, guys. Another little cool find. I think I'm going to be able to get some writing off of it. I think this is the front of a locket. It may be gold-plated because I see some gold on the back. Little clip. It's ornate with a fleur-de-lis pattern on it. Did you see this old Pepsi bottle? No, I haven't. I can come over and look. That's maybe a keeper. So that's it. That's actually very cool. I'll clean it up and see what we got on that. I think the front of a locket, though. Let's keep on going, guys. Let's find some more stuff. Okay, back home here for a quick wrap-up of the finds of the past few hunts. Again, this was several short hunts, plus one a little bit longer hunt with my friend in central Vermont. Let me start with a few things I did not get on tape. I've got a nice iron buckle. That was just a surface find. I will do some electrolysis on that. And I've got a nice piece of ornate porcelain. I always like to keep those if I find those on the ground. I found that on one of my last hunts. It was lying pretty close to the surface, so I always like to keep that. Got an old harmonica reed here. These finds down here at the bottom, this was interesting. I hunted with another friend of mine across the lake in northern New York on that side of the Champlain Valley. We hit an old 1808 house, and it was very interesting. We found several old relics, but nothing before about 1900. It appeared they had bought in some fill or something about 1910. So my friend found better stuff than me, a Standing Liberty quarter, silver quarter, a nice early, it looked like Canadian version Boy Scout tag. I didn't do quite as well. I did get an early 20th century suspender clip, brass buckle, and some 40s coinage, a 46 Jefferson, a couple 40s wheats, and a George VI 47 Canadian penny. So keepers, but nothing spectacular considering the age of the home. But anyway, that's how it goes sometimes in the metal detecting world. I never try to get overexcited or underexcited. You never know what's going to happen, and usually you're pleasantly surprised. So anyway, let's go ahead to the stuff that I did get on video. Here are my two brass buckles I found in the last few clips there. That one's going to need some more electrolysis. The iron tongue is kind of rusted to the brass frame. This one with just some a toothbrush and some water turned out very good, so I'm not going to do anything to that, and the tongue actually moves a little bit, so keep that one. I was correct on this. It says Paris on the back, and this is a manufacturer, I believe, out of Montreal. I think Gibson is another maker of these. When I pulled the tongue up, it actually broke, and I had to super glue the frame back together, so that kind of sucked, but it still looks quite all right. My Reese lock, I did some online research. They're still in existence today. They make more like trailer hitch type stuff now, so I'm not sure the exact age, but the machining on this is suggests fairly modern, 1950 to 1980. I'm going to just make a guess. Okay, some of the more interesting finds. This is from some of my Central Vermont hunt with my friend David. Front of a brass or gold-plated locket. I like that a lot. Ornate fleur-de-lis pattern, so I kept that. This is my semi-mystery. I'm going to make a stab and say this is just a makeup compact mirror. I haven't done the electrolysis on it yet. I haven't had time to do that, but I may take a wing at that and see what it's worth. It's kind of weird though. It's got these little perforated holes in here. So if any of you have another guess other than a makeup compact, give me a holler on my channel if you think you know what that is. This guy right here, PLBG and Company, Pittsburgh Light Brass and Gas Company, and it says Success. That is a knob from an old gas lamp from the early 20th century. It was found in the dump where the bottles were, that I found several bottles through there over the last year. Based off the age of the site and when people dump stuff there, 1910 to 1925 or so. Definitely keeper, and it's still kind of corroded on the back, as you can see there with the iron. So I got to do some electrolysis to get all that crud off of there. But hey, anything with writing on it like that, I always keep. I love it. My headless horseman, Ichabod Crane. I don't know, is it a wise man on a horse? Religious porcelain. Kind of creepy, really. I don't know. I saw it lying in the edge of the cellar hole. I picked it up. I'm not sure if I'll keep it or not. Interesting nonetheless. And then finally my best find here. This is my Draped Bust Large Cent. You can see Lady Liberty and her ponytail there. These are not worth much when they're in this condition. You know, $5. The coin dealer's not going to give you much for something that's only barely gradable. I did take a little bit of peroxide where the date was, and other than that, I just toothpicked it off. I took a little peroxide down here, and you can just make out an 8, the top of an 8 and a 0. So 1800 to 1807. So again, not valuable, but definitely a keeper and an awesome find from the early part of Vermont's history here in the Champlain Valley. So that's all I got for you today. I've already got some other videos in store to line up and get another video out for you here in a couple weeks. Until then, happy hunting. Get out in the woods and search for the goodies. Stuff's been hunted out a lot, but there's still stuff waiting there for you to find if you just take the time and effort. Happy hunting. Until next time, this is John BTV Digger. Have a good day.